Presidential candidate Andrew Yang says he is confident he can defeat frontrunner Joe Biden. Right now, the businessman is polling at about 2 to 4% nationwide. The 2020 hopeful told us why he believes he has what it will take to beat President Trump. Polls show that most Democratic voters and Democratic-leaning independents, 2/3, the main thing they want in a candidate is someone who can beat Donald Trump.
Yep. Yes, I'm one of only 2 candidates in the field that 10% or more of Donald Trump voters say that they would support.
Why is that?
It's because I'm focused on solving the problems that they see around them every day. And I'm laser focused on trying to make their lives better. That's why I'm getting thousands of Trump voters, as well as independents and libertarians and Democrats and progressives. If I'm the Democratic nominee, we win.
So he highlights that part of the reason why he's gaining popularity is because he's talking about bettering the lives of everyday people. He has the intuition to understand that technology is going to basically take a lot of people's jobs. I would not be surprised if you read the book Homo Deus by Yuval Noah Harari. Both of these individuals, I would say, are pretty forward-thinking. Yang doesn't talk a lot about Trump. Notice that he doesn't insult Trump very much. He stays focused on his message because he realizes that at the end of the day, criticizing another person isn't going to be the main thing that helps him win over moderates and even some Republicans. But talking about the overall structure of why we are having these problems, which he blames on technology.
Biden's argument too.
Well, that's one reason why he's leading in the polls, and that's one reason you'll see me leading in the polls before too long.
You think you can beat Joe Biden?
I think I'll be the nominee. If you listen to Joe talk about it, his main argument is that his election is going to be a restoration of the Obama-Biden administration, in essence, which is a move literally backwards in time. And so, to me, saying that we can somehow erase not just Donald Trump's presidency, but all of the reasons why people voted for Donald Trump, to me, is not correct. I mean, you know, these things have happened, and we're going to have to address them. We're going to have to solve the problems that got Donald Trump elected. 1, if we're going to win, and 2, if we're going to move the country forward.
So he talks about how Biden is associated with Obama and how those types of policies are going to move us backwards. What he's really talking about there would be Obama's policies with Wall Street, how after they wrecked the economy in 2008, Obama approved the bailouts. You had millions of people that were struggling financially. So many people lost their homes, but there were no bailouts for the middle class. But there were bailouts for Wall Street, who got us into that mess in the first place with their wild speculation and with their risky behaviors. And so Andrew Yang's saying that those are the types of policies, the wealth inequality, the people not feeling like they have much of a voice or like their government cares about them. He's saying that those are the types of things that got Donald Trump elected in the first place. And he's saying that he will be able to tap into that base. That if he were to be the Democratic nominee, the Democratic Party would have to support him. They wouldn't have any other choice. They would support Andrew Yang over Donald Trump. But then he would be a candidate that would be able to win over independents and moderates. That's why he says he is a candidate that could beat Joe Biden and a candidate that could beat Donald Trump. And to be honest, Andrew Yang's gaining so much steam because he's focused on the economy. Bernie Sanders is focused on the economy. Elizabeth Warren is focused on the economy. These are 3 candidates that are gaining a lot of momentum. What is Kamala Harris's message? What is Joe Biden's message? People care more about the economy and wealth inequality on average than any other issue, because wealth inequality in the economy affects everyone. They care about those issues, and a lot of people care about campaign finance. A lot of issues other than wealth inequality, campaign finance, and climate change are just side issues. Many people would even argue wedge issues.